Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these soft and fluffy apple cinnamon cream cheese buns. This is kind of like a fall version of Danish Carnival Buns, which are usually these soft fluffy brioche buns that are topped with a custard and berries. This one is a fluffy bread topped with a cream cheese filling, apple and cinnamon, and a buttery crumble. In the bowl of your stand mixer or a large bowl, if you're going to be making the dough by hand, combine together some warm water and milk along with granulated sugar and instant yeast. Use a whisk to give that a good mix, and then we're going to add in some melted and cooled unsalted butter and 1 egg at room temperature. Give that a good whisk until it's fully incorporated, and next we're going to add in the dry ingredients. This includes some regular all-purpose flour and a little bit of salt. You do not need to use any other type of flour like bread flour or even cake flour for this recipe. The buns turn out so soft and fluffy using just regular flour. Now I'm going to place this onto my stand mixer with the dough hook attachment and then knead on medium-high speed for around 5 to 7 minutes until the dough is nice and smooth and there is no longer any lumps of flour in the dough. If you're going to be making the dough by hand, I recommend starting with a wooden spoon first just to get everything mixed together. Then you can bring your dough out onto a floured surface and then knead using your hands for about 10 minutes. Once the dough looks something like this, it's ready to go. And as you can see, the dough is still quite sticky. Do not add more flour. This is going to ruin the texture of your buns. Now we're going to bring the dough out onto a floured surface, and since the dough is quite sticky, what you're going to do is use a bench scraper and flour the bench scraper really well. This is going to make it really easy to transfer the dough out onto your working surface. And I did have to add a few candles just to get the fall vibe going. But anyways, what you're going to do is add some more flour on top and then use your hands to bring the dough together like I'm doing so here into a large ball. You don't need to do any kneading if you've used your stand mixer. Just bring it together into a nice ball, and then we're going to place this in a large greased bowl, cover and let that rest for around 1.5 hours or until the dough has doubled in size. While the dough rests, let's prepare the apple topping. In a small saucepan, combine together 3 apples that have been peeled and chopped into small cubes, some brown sugar, you can use light or dark brown sugar, and a little bit of lemon juice. Use a spatula to give that a good mix, and then we're going to place this on medium flame and cook this for around 5 to 7 minutes or until the apples are nice and soft and the juices have become a bit thick. I also added a teaspoon of cinnamon, which I totally forgot to add in the beginning, so don't forget that it is one of the main components for the apple topping. Once your apples look something like this, you can remove it from the flame and then just set that aside to cool down at room temperature until we get ready to assemble the buns. Next, let's make the cream cheese filling. In a medium-sized bowl, combine together some room temperature cream cheese, granulated sugar, vanilla extract, and some cold heavy cream. Use an electric mixer or a whisk to mix this together until it's nice and creamy. Using a mixer just ensures that your mixture is super smooth, but you can definitely do this with a spatula or whisk. Remember to use your spatula to wipe down the sides of your bowl in between so that you aren't leaving any chunks of cream cheese in the filling. And that's literally it. Your cream cheese filling is ready to go. We're going to place this in the refrigerator until we're ready to assemble the buns. And finally, we're going to make the last component, which is the crumble topping. This part is optional, so you can skip the crumble if you'd like, but it really adds a nice crunch to the bun, so I highly recommend that you make it. All you have to do is throw all of your ingredients into a small bowl, give it a good mix until you have a crumbly mixture that looks something like this. And that's it. We're going to put this into the refrigerator as well until we're ready to assemble the buns. And by the time we get to the crumble part, it's going to be nice and firm. It has been 1 hour and the dough has doubled in size. As you can see, it's nice and fluffy. We're going to gently punch it down and bring it out onto a well-floured working surface. Now I'm going to use a bench scraper, or you can even use a knife, to divide the dough into 8 to 10 portions depending on the size that you want your buns to be. I divided it into 8 and they did make quite large buns, so if you want them to be smaller, you can divide it up to 8 portions. Now we're going to take each of the portions and roll it out into a ball. What you're going to do is fold it into itself like this and then roll it in the palm of your hands to make it nice and smooth. Repeat this process until you've rolled them all out into smooth balls. The entire written recipe with tips and tricks, step-by-step instructions, as well as the printable recipe is available on my website, thefoodflamingo.com, and you can find a link to that in the description box below. Once you've rolled them all into a smooth ball, just cover them on your working surface with a kitchen towel for just 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're going to place these dough balls onto a lined baking tray. Make sure to leave sufficient space around the balls because they are going to rise and spread a little bit. Cover and let these rest for another 15 to 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we're going to assemble the buns. Use the back of a 1/3 cup or a 1/4 cup measuring cup depending on the size of your dough balls, and then gently press down in the middle of each of the dough balls like this. This is going to create the indentation for the filling and topping. You don't want to press too hard, otherwise you can pierce through the bottom and we don't want to do that. You can even use the back of a flat bottom glass to do this. Next, we're going to fill each of these indentations with the cream cheese filling that we made earlier. I added my filling into a piping bag just because it was much easier to pipe on, but you can definitely just spoon this on as well. Next, we're going to add on the apple topping, which should have been fully cooled by now. I'm adding 1 heaping tablespoon on top of each of the buns. You can divide the topping evenly between all of your buns. Next, we're definitely not adding the crumble. I totally forgot there's one last step, and that is adding on some egg wash. This is just 1 egg yolk beaten with a splash of water, and then use a pastry brush to brush it on the sides of your buns. This is going to give them a beautiful golden brown color and also help the crumble stick to the sides of the bun. And finally, you can sprinkle on the chilled crumble all over the buns. Add the crumble onto the sides and top of your buns, and then we're going to bake these in the center of a preheated oven at 170 degrees Celsius, which is 340 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 25 minutes, or until the buns are nice and golden brown. Once baked, let those cool down in the tray for around 5 minutes, and then you can serve them warm. And that's it, your apple cream cheese buns are ready to go. The bread is so incredibly soft and fluffy, and it is so easy to achieve that fluffiness. It's actually shocking at how easy it is. The cream cheese filling and the apple topping work so well together, and the crumble adds the perfect amount of crunch in every bite. Cinnamon and apple is definitely a classic fall flavor, which is why I wanted to use that for this recipe, but you can definitely swap out the apples for a different fruit like pears, peaches, or even berries like blueberry and strawberries. Let me know in the comments down below what you're planning to bake this fall, or if you tried this recipe and how it turned out, or even just a little comment like where you're watching from. I would love to hear from you. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video if you've liked it or found it helpful, and let me know down below what other recipes you would like to see from me. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.